song going round and round my head. Like my favorite song going round.
I'd like to start with a question. How many of us set a New Year's resolution, either this year or in the past? Hands up. How many of us have ever failed at a New Year's resolution? Hands up. I think that's more than actually set one. And now, Nick was talking about vulnerable questions, and poor Joe got singled out with a lot of vulnerable questions. And I'm going to ask you a very vulnerable question now. Hands up if you forgot to brush your teeth this morning. Okay, whether or not you want to admit it in front of a room of your peers, you probably didn't, because it's a habit that you have. Now, 43% of our day is made up of the habits that we have. It's our routine that matters, not our willpower. It's not like you lay in bed this morning, weighing up the pros and cons of dental hygiene, deciding if you're in that toothbrushing kind of zone or you're motivated enough to go all the way to your back molars. You didn't, because it's a habit that you have. It's an automatic process. Problem is, we tend to go about habit formation in the wrong way. We're searching out those ingredients of change, thinking we're just one more Forbes article or longevity supplement or ice bath away from a whole new you. But let's be real here. We know the ingredients that are needed for high-performance success. Who here hasn't heard that in order to perform at your best, you need to eat more vegetables, drink more water, manage your stress better, get more sleep, put your phone in a drawer so it stops distracting you when you're trying to do your most important tasks? It's not information we're missing. It's implementation. We've got the intentions, but it's turning those intentions into actions where we fall down. Now, I've spent over 20 years in the field of behavioral science, and I know that its information does not equal implementation. And the reason that we keep failing at our habits is because we fail to look at the method. We're missing the method. We're just trying to apply those ingredients. And without that methodology, we're not getting to where we want to be. And that's what I want to share with you today. I know Ray talked about loving mantras. You'll be sick of mantras now by the end of this 12-minute talk. But I really believe that if you can change your method, then change can happen for you. And I'm going to introduce you quickly to my habits method I've honed over the last few years in research and globally working all over the world as a behavioral scientist. And it neatly falls into the acronym HABITS. And the first step is happiness. H for happiness. And I know anyone who set a New Year's resolution here is probably like, Heather, happiness? Are you kidding me? What's happiness got to do with habits? Change is hard. We want that overnight transformation. We want that quick fix. We want the magic wand. We want the silver bullet. But why is it so often when it comes to change that we tend to punish ourselves into change? We tend to make things harder rather than easier. Tell me if you can relate. You're like, right, new year. I'm going to be on a health kick. So I'm going to go to the supermarket and I'm going to buy the most worthy or boring food. So the kale, the quinoa, the rice cakes, or, actually I'm going to get fit this year. So I'm going to join the gym. And instead of doing the class that I actually really think I'll enjoy, I'm going to go to the gym floor, which is really boring and intimidating. And I'm going to scan that gym floor. Yes, okay, Stairmaster. That looks really boring and really tedious. I'm going to do that. Or a salt bike. That looks really punishing. I'll start with that. Or maybe you're thinking, oh God, I'm just one more ice bath away from unlocking my productivity superpowers. And the thing is, these things might work for a week or two, even a month. But then life gets joyless and hard because you're eating cardboard, you're doing activities you detest, and you're giving yourself voluntary hypothermia. And I'm here to tell you it doesn't work. I spent a long time nerding out in the science, and I'm here to tell you that that punishing regime that you've created for yourself will not last. And in fact, science shows time and time again that happiness is the key to sustaining long-term habits. I'd like to tell you a quick story. So back in 2019, I got a call from the BBC to go on a show called Women's Hour, with the host at the time was Jane Garvey. And it was all about New Year's resolutions. And I can't resist an opportunity to chat about resolutions. If anyone wants to chat about their resolutions afterwards, I'm here all day, dying to know. And it's a phone-in show. So you phone in, you ask questions, and then they have a specialist on hand to answer those questions. So people were phoning in with the typical, New Year's resolution pieces. They wanted to know how to stop a glass of wine turning into a bottle, or how to get fitter and stay fitter, or how to meditate, how to floss, all of the things. And then a caller called in whose name I'll never forget. Her name was Valerie. And Valerie was struggling with her habits. She was going through a really difficult time. And she wanted some help with those. And to be honest, I felt completely unqualified to help her. But I dug deep, I taught her science, and I asked her a question, the same question I'm going to ask you in a minute. And then the line went quiet for what felt like an age. She responded she'd think about it, and that was it. And I did think of her from time to time after that day, hoping I'd done right by her, really hoping she was getting on okay. Then 2 years later, I got this email in my inbox, and I'll read it for you now. She said, "Dear Dr. McKee, this email is just to say thank you. 2 years ago, on New Year's Eve day, I was sitting at my kitchen table with a pad of paper and a pencil, trying to think about what I wanted the new year and my new life to look like, as my husband had died about 8 weeks before. I had Women's Hour with Jane Garvey on in the background, and you were her guest. And I don't know what possessed me, but I called in and I got on, and I said that looking at new habits was hard. Because if I changed the way my husband and I did things, I was losing a bit of him. You told me to throw away the list of habits I was working on and instead create a joy list. You said I just needed to be something I felt like I got lost in once I was doing it, or brought a smile to my face. Top of the list was playing piano again. Next week I went out and bought a baby grand piano. And about 2 months later, COVID hit and the first lockdown. The isolation on top of the bereavement just about did me in, but I started to play the piano every time I started to feel sad or I felt a meltdown coming on and it passed. The brain can't process sad and doing piano at the same time. The piano would always win, distracting me from feeling sad, and it brought me great joy. Funny thing was, once I started playing, other things started falling into place. I felt more motivated to exercise, my eating habits became better, I spent less time watching mindless TV. I've come out at the other side of the bereavement, and so much was thanks to that brief call in, your advice, and having bought a piano. With joy, Valerie Humphrey. Now, what Valerie teaches us is that you can find happiness in the harshest of circumstances. Valerie changed her method, and change happened for her. And so for 2025, I want you to think about what your method is, how you approach things. Can you shake it up? Anything that you learned today, any inspiration, any motivation, any action that you wish to take, any of that information you want to turn into implementation. I want you to think about how you can change your method. And in order to do that, the first step is, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Valerie that day. Ask yourself this. What's on my joy list? What's on my joy list? What are those habits that bring me happiness? Or how can I layer happiness onto existing habits that I have? Because ultimately, the research shows that time again, that if you can find the joy, you'll find it easy. And as a final thing, if you're still thinking that you're not performing your best at work, or in life, or your relationships, or you're not fit enough, if you're still looking for that secret ingredient, the secret sauce, that one piece of equipment, that superfood supplement, that one thing that's going to, push everything away for you, and make it all happen for you this year, I'm here to burst that bubble and tell you that actually there is no secret ingredient. Or in fact, the only secret sauce that you need is you. You are the only one that can change your habits and as a result change your life. And the way to start doing that is to change your method. And a surefire way to actually create change for all of 2025 is to work on habits of happiness. So I wish you the best of luck with that. Thank you.